Good morning, friends. I brought a book to Circle Time called Norman the Slug with the Silly Shell. Let's read about Norman. Norman the Slug thought snails were great. Wow, said Norman, look at them. They're amazing. So a slug does not have a shell, but a snail has a shell. But unfortunately, the snails didn't think Norman was great. Crash! Norman, you silly slug, they cried. You've spoiled our fun. This only works if you've got a shell. Norman felt left out. Sadly, he skulked off into the moonlight. So snails and slugs are nocturnal. That means they come out at night. If only I had a shell of my own, he sighed, looking at his reflection, and that's when he had an idea. Maybe I could have a shell after all, he thought. But finding a shell was not as easy as it seemed. One was too bouncy, one was too noisy, and one was already taken. There's a worm. Norman needed time to think. It was perfect. Norman had never been happier. He could join the snails at last. What did he put on his back? A donut. Silly Norman. Norman loved being a snail, and the snails loved Norman's silly shell. But the fun didn't last for long. Suddenly there was a loud flapping of wings. Look out! A bird, cried the snails. Quick, slither for your lives, or we'll end up as supper. Oh, birds eat snails and slugs. But the bird was more interested in Norman's silly shell. It looked delicious. Norman was being carried up and away, higher and higher into the sky. What could he do? Norman did the only thing a slug could do. He made slime, lots and lots of it. With a slither and a slather and a slip and a slide, Norman was free. So he made ooey gooey slime. That's what slugs and snails do best. But he was falling faster and faster and faster until... plonk! Norman, are you okay? Asked the snails. Wow, said Norman, that was great. I loved flying. Now if only I had wings. Oh, Norman. Ta-da! What did Norman put on his back? Is he wearing underwear? Norman's so silly. Look, there's all the snails. Yeah. They're all on the leaves. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to identify some bugs. Let's do some bug identification. So my first bug, so we're going to pretend to be an entomologist. An entomologist is a scientist who studies bugs. So we're going to examine the bugs to see if we can identify them. What's this bug? An ant. So we know that ants have 6 legs because they're an insect. They have a head, a body, and a thorax. So they have 3 parts to their bodies. 3 parts. They have antenna, and they eat sugary snacks. They eat really just about anything. They're kind of a scavenger. Ladybug. What did we learn about ladybugs? Ladybugs have spots. They're an insect. They have 6 legs, but they're a form of a beetle. Yeah, and they're a helpful garden bug, aren't they? They are. They're helpful. Grasshopper. Grasshoppers jump really, really far, don't they? And they eat bugs too, and leaves. They have big long legs. They have 6 legs as well, so that means they're an insect. Worms. Worms don't have any legs, but they're a helpful garden bug. Bees. Bees have 6 legs as well, so they're an insect. They have 3 legs on each side. And bees make honey, and they're a helpful garden bug because they help to pollinate the flowers. That's right, that's a spider. A spider is not an insect. He's an arachnid because he has 8 legs. He has 8. He has 4 legs on each side, so that makes 8 legs for the spider. And he's building a web. He catches bugs. So he eats mosquitoes. So, you know, spiders are helpful. They're kind of creepy, but they're still helpful. These are fireflies. So fireflies have a type of chemical in their little body in the back that makes them glow. They glow in the dark. So they're a nocturnal bug, just like the slug and the snail. So they come out at night. So let's look at our letter I words. What starts with I? Ice cream, iguana. See the letter I? I have it in red, letter I. And our word of the week, insect. Insect, letter I for insect. Let's talk about what a worm is, because we saw those yucky, icky worms. So worms live down in the dirt, in the soil. This is an earthworm inside of its cocoon. So after the egg is laid, it goes into a cocoon. It's kind of a worm egg. And then they hatch. Some worms have legs, but most of them don't. This is a kind of a centipede, but they're classified in the worms. Pretty cool, but they eat decaying matter. They eat the decaying matter, and then they help to make the soil rich and nutritious to grow our crops. So there's some lettuce and kale and spinach. So they help the dirt. And over here we have a snail because he has a shell. And over here we have a slug like Norman, who does not have a shell. And they're also, remember we said they come out at night, so they're also that other big word, nocturnal. They're nocturnal, they come out at night. Yeah. And they produce slime. Norman produced slime, didn't he, to get away from the birds? He did. Well, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, and we're gonna learn about grasshoppers and spiders tomorrow. You ready to learn about grasshoppers and spiders? Good. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.